Different feeling. I think it's going to be a little bit of a different feeling, but it's always been my dream to go there. So I think I'm going to be a complete different person when I actually get in there. It's going to turn me into something else.
Tim, you're the ultimate professional. Like I know, you'll go there 6 or 8 weeks before. You'll be ready, and the Americans are going to love you. And the sooner you get there, the better. I got there too late. You've got plenty of time. Get there, enjoy it, do what you've done today, and they will love you there. You think Australians love you? The Americans love their boxing. They will love you.
I want to be a throwback fighter. Just gets in the ring with whoever, whenever, wherever, you know. And I think boxing fans, such as American boxing fans, respect that.
Well, Kim,
and that's what I want to be respected for.
I say this without any hesitation. Keep doing what you've done today, and your dad and I are going to be there, and you're going to be up there. Yeah. Just keep doing it, mate. It was amazing today.
Mate, if I can do half of what you and Dad did, I'll be a happy man.
Well, you've done that already, mate. Just keep doing what you're doing.
So let's talk about this. This weekend, Tszyu in a fantastic, devastating, dominating first round knockout of former 154 pound, 147 pound mandatory for Errol Spence, Carlos Ocampo. Tszyu is now 23-0 with 17 KOs, 28 years old, the WBO interim champion. So what we're going to do in this video is talk about the future. Right now, it is June the 20th. 2023, 8:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the next fight for Tszyu will be Charlo for Undisputed at 154 pounds. Now, a lot of fans are concerned that Charlo will move up, drop the belt, or pull out. He's not going to fight Tszyu. Well, let me tell you something. Tszyu wouldn't be on Showtime here in the States if the Charlo fight was going to fall through. I'm sorry, he's there because of Charlo, and the fight has already been signed. So I don't think you guys have to worry about it. They are going to fight. Charlo is not allowed to have a tune-up because the WBO has ordered that him and Tszyu fight by September the 30th, but there are exceptions like network, arena availability, things like that. So let's jump right into things. Big J, you said there's a date floating around for Charlo versus Tszyu in Vegas?
I have heard in the last 24 hours or so, it will be around October 14th. For Australian fans, that is a perfect date.
And why is that?
So, because the footy grand finals, as you know, football seasons wrap up. The AFL is the last Saturday of September. The NRL is the first Sunday of October. And as you well know, you don't fuck with the football in this country. People are not going to travel overseas in light of missing the football grand finals. It's not going to happen. Hardcore boxing fans will, but the casual ones won't. No chance.
Okay. So another thing is, I'm trying to figure out where to start about. See, there's a lot of political implications here and possibilities because you have Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. They're going to be fighting on July the 29th. That's going to be for Undisputed at 147. They have a 2-fight deal. The loser would have something like 30 days to invoke the rematch clause. So basically, it's safe to say that they're going to be fighting twice. But both of the fighters are going to be moving up to 154 anyway, and they may run into each other. So it's been long rumored that the plan was for Errol Spence after 147. Let's say in a perfect world for him, Errol Spence beats Terrence Crawford twice. He's going to move up to 154. Charlo moves up to 160, and Jamal Charlo moves up to 168. Now, it's looking like Charlo's last fight at 154 pounds may just very well be Tszyu, unless he sticks around for Terrence Crawford. You see, are you kind of following what I'm saying, Big J? Well, let me hear from your side.
Yep. Well, that's exactly what we discussed. I mean, I think a large bearing of the Tszyu-Charlo fight's going to have a large bearing on who wins Crawford-Spence. Because if Crawford wins, right, the Charlo, that's a massive, massive fight. But if Spence wins, he's not going to fight Charlo. They're mates. They're stable buddies.
Yeah.
So if Spence wins, it's in PBC's best interest that Tszyu wins because there's another big fight at 154. So, and there's a possibility that if Crawford Spence have signed a 2-fight deal, there's no reason why they can't rematch at 154.
Yeah.
There's no reason why one can't win Undisputed, step up, win again and then fight a rematch at 154. There's no bearing that they can't do that.
Yeah, you're right about that. So right now, to not get too confused with the politics, put it this way: we got several massive scenarios involving Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Jamel Charlo, and Tszyu. It's looking like they're going to meet in some way, shape, or form sometime over the next 2 years or so. So right now, what's been circulating around on social media, and I didn't really start seeing it until after our video was done, is that a lot of fans and media are feeling like we felt where Charlo should have fought Tszyu sooner. And Tszyu is getting better, and now in a lot of fans and media, it's starting to become a 50-50 fight. Your thoughts on that?
Well, absolutely correct. I mean, as I've stated many, many times on this channel, until he beat Tony Harrison, I was convinced that Charlo would smack the absolute shit out of Tszyu and knock him the fuck out within 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. How long have I been saying that?
Yeah.
2 years? 3 years?
Yeah, since the beginning.
Since the beginning. But now that his evidence is finally built and his record's not full of blown up welterweights and washed up, guys that are at the end of their careers, since the Harrison fight, and probably before that, but the Harrison fight cemented it that he was ready for Charlo. Not necessarily beat Charlo, but ready for Charlo. And since he destroyed old mate in a round the other day, even though it was pretty sloppy. It was, if you watch it again, it was actually pretty sloppy. He was swinging for the fences. He's ready for the aggression that he needs. Like for Charlo, I mean, I don't know what happened, but that dog bite, he needs to change his thing from the Soul Taker to the werewolf because he was like an animal in there the other day.
Yeah, so got him out of there. So, here's an interesting stat. Now, since I guess you can say Tszyu really hit the world stage when he fought Jeff Horn back in August of 2020. So since August of 2020, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights. Now let me go look at Jamel Charlo's record, 35-1-1, 19 KOs. Tszyu's had 8 fights. Since 2020, wait a minute, that Jeff Horn fight was in 2020. Yeah, since 2020, he has had in the same time frame, 3 fights compared to Tszyu's 8. 3 fights. Jason Rosario the very next month, in September of 2020. Brian Castano in July of 2021. And then in May of 2022, Castano rematch. Now, yes, there's been injuries in there, but it's still layoffs, significant layoffs. And we know that Jamel Charlo, he is good. But he's shown he can be vulnerable going all the way back to his fight against John Jackson, where he was losing but needed the knockout to win, which he did get. He did lose to Tony Harrison. A lot of people thought that maybe Jamel should have got the decision. Nonetheless, it was a close fight, and then the Castano fight, the first fight, was contested.
And the rematch, a lot of people felt that Charlo was losing until he got that stoppage.
Yeah. So it's, he's good. I consider him, to be a special fighter. He is undisputed. He did collect the belts, but still at the end of the day, these layoffs and him being 33 years old now, time is not on his side. And then Tszyu rides all of this momentum. Tszyu's coming off of 2, I guess you can say somewhat, high profile knockouts over Tony Harrison and Carlos Ocampo. And the first round knockout, that just was, that shot him to the moon as far as trending on social media. Because before, people weren't talking about him here in the States. Now he's got, people are talking. And they're saying the same thing we're saying, is that maybe Charlo, should have fought him long ago. But then again, he didn't have a chance to fight him, did he?
No, Charlo didn't have to fight him back then.
He didn't have to, you're right.
No, he didn't have to, because everyone was saying, Tim's the mandatory, Tim's this, Tim's that.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was never the mandatory.
He was number 1, and he was trying to say that he was the mandatory because he was number 1. I remember that.
Yeah, but you got to remember, poor old Bakary Matazali has been waiting 3 years for his shot.
Yeah.
So Tim was never in the mix until about 6 months ago. Oh, probably 8 months ago. Okay. 8 months ago. Yeah, it was never really in the mix until August of last year. So I think that's when did the WBA order the first fight before Charlo got injured? Wasn't it around then? August, October last year?
Yeah, that was about, we did that video, yeah.
Yeah, so for everyone it's a bit harsh to say for Charlo, he should have fought him earlier. No, because he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
He was too busy fighting Castano, but he should have fought him August of last year and he would have destroyed him. That would have been the end of it. But now, not so much. Not so much. Like, you can't definitively say that Charlo's going to walk in there after a hand injury and 15 months sitting on his ass and knock Tszyu out. But no, you'd have to be a moron to suggest that.
And don't be surprised. So, likely, Murtazaliev is going to be on that card. I won't be surprised when they do that.
Oh, I hope so, because he needs his opportunity, and I think it's only fair that Murtazaliev gets the winner because he's been waiting a long, long time. I mean, through his own stupidity as well. I don't know why he took so many step-aside agreements. But
but not only did he take step-aside agreements, he took step-aside agreements that didn't include TV time, which made no sense to me. Like, he's fighting in dark matches. So how's your career,
Well, his career is pretty much stagnant. I mean, and he was fighting nobodies.
So, to backtrack a little bit, who do you have winning Spence Crawford, and how?
Crawford.
Okay. Yeah.
Late stoppage. I'm talking like 11th round.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I've said it multiple times. If this was 3 years ago or before, Spence, public life, the car accident, the intoxication, and all the different issues he's had, injuries, I would have picked him. But now it's hard to pick against a guy who has shown us that he's dedicated in the ring, and he says that he doesn't drink or smoke. So I'm always going to pick that guy that's dedicated and not, showing us the vices outside of the ring. But yeah, I'm picking Terrence Crawford. Now, that's going to be an interesting fight. When I think about Terrence Crawford possibly fighting Charlo or Tszyu. And right now, I got to be honest, each passing day, I'm thinking Tszyu's got a chance, man. I would see a decision. I don't see him stopping Charlo, but I would see kind of, like a split decision type. I think he can win a close fight against Charlo, but then again, we never really seen Tszyu tested late. And we know that Charlo, he's been there before. So it's still a 50-50 fight. I'm giving the edge to Charlo. I'm picking Charlo today. I'm going to stick with it. But, the closer we get to the fight, I'm thinking like, man, Tszyu does have a chance. But I'm not picking him. Closing thoughts? What do we miss?
What do we miss? I would love to see Tim fight Crawford for the sheer fact that Tim can get one back for Jeff Horn.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I want to see. And I don't think we've missed anything, but predictions on the fight at the moment, I've got Tim. I'm going to be as bold enough to say I think you might get him in the later rounds. But you're right, Tim hasn't been really tested because his victories come pretty easy. He's never really been tested by anybody. So it's just got to be he's just that good. It's got to be that simple. He's just that good. So anyway, but I'm giving the edge to Tim. I say Tim can beat Charlo because he has been beaten twice before. Well, once officially, but more like twice. And I think that if he jumps on him straight away, we're in for a hell of a fight. So
as soon as we hear some news, Tim said he's going to be here 6 to 8 weeks before the fight. So basically, I'm guessing he's going to take the rest of this month off. He's probably going to get here about August or so. By the beginning of August, I think that's his best bet. Start camp here. Get adjusted here, and it seems like he's been based out of LA when he does come over, right? I'm pretty sure he's been in Cali, not Florida.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll have a long camp. Well, he goes to Thailand every now and then too. You spend a bit of time in Thailand.
Okay.
In training camps, so.
Yeah, because they were just saying he's going to be here 6 to 8 weeks or so, and if the fight does get announced, I'm guessing we would be looking at like August. It would get announced around if it would be like 2 months or so away, so they can start giving it's like so the fans can have time to start booking their travel packages.
Yeah, I would dare say the second Spence Crawford, the first one's over, they'll announce it probably, if not at that fight,
You're right.
very closely after.
You're right. It might be during the event. It might be during the event.
Well, it's free
CBC is
publicity.
known
Why
to do
wouldn't they
that.
do it?
Yeah, they're known to do that, to announce during their event. So listen, as soon as this fight is announced, we're going to be jumping right on here doing some content. In the meantime, the next big fight, of course, which is what, about 40 or so days away, Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. They had their 2 press conferences last week. You can expect us to be pumping out content on that, because that, as we talked about earlier, is directly tied to Charlo versus Tszyu when that does happen. So 2 major fights, 2 big storylines, all happening within 3 months or so, and basically they're kind of on like the same timelines. Anything you want to mention before we wrap up? I've already said my closing thoughts.
The week before that, Hughesy versus Cambosis, of course. So we'll do content on that as well.
Yep, that's going to be on July the 22nd from Oklahoma. We'll be here covering that as well. And we saw Jai Opataya there, but we still haven't heard anything yet. As soon as we do, as far as what's going on with him and Chris Billum-Smith or his next fight, we'll definitely be updating you on that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy and Big J at Old Mate Big J on Twitter.